We're kicking it off with earning, employment, and income today. And so I wanted to ask to make sure that Ramani, did you receive all the different modules to be able to access the information?
You said what again? I couldn't hear you.
Did you receive all the different modules? Because in the modules, there's a pre-session and post-session survey that we'd like you to take.
No, I didn't get that.
All right, so I'm sorry, Rashawn, did you say something?
I was about to say I didn't get one either.
All right, so we're gonna have to get you that information. That way you'll have, because there is some aspect inside each session that there is some downloadable stuff that you can work with. Also, besides the presentation that Joe and I are going to work with you this evening, it's a student activity form, and it covers things like key terms. Today, it's going to have you kind of think about what your career path you want to have. You know, what are you looking for? Kind of to help you develop that thought process. Also, you know, it talks about healthy relationships besides with yourself, with your money, because it's important that you have a healthy relationship with yourself and with your money. I was just doing a financial education literacy program before we get in here, and the program had what they called the payday life cycle. Can you guess what the payday life cycle is all about? Joe's smiling because he experiences it every 2 weeks. And you guys do too, right? You go, hoo-hoo, I got paid today. I'm going to treat myself. I'm getting myself a coffee. I need some Nikes. And the new game came out. Oh, that's great. And then the next day is I should sit down and write my bills, but you know what? I can do them tomorrow. I need to go I'll buy some groceries, and I'm going to go see a movie and get popcorn. And the third day is, okay, I'm going to sit down, and it's like, do I have enough money to pay all my bills? And then you have that cycle, you get really poor to the next payday. And then when you get to it, you go again. Yeah, exactly. You get woohoo again. And so this is going to help create that honesty inside yourself to help you think about how you honestly manage money and make wise decisions. And we still, I'm, getting close to the retirement age, and there's still days that I think, wow, woohoo, I got paid. I can go out and get the newest toy that I don't know how to operate, but I can go afford it today. And it's like tomorrow, it's like, I'll write my bill for the mortgage tomorrow. I should have wrote the mortgage first and thought about the toys second. So I'm going to share my screen, and then Joe and I are going to go back and forth with it. So let's see how it goes.
I like your setup.
Here.
Good setup. I call that this all financial psychology. Like, very important.
Yep. All right. So here we go. Did it pop up?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. In my limited skills, here we go. All right. There it goes. It's not my internet connection, I swear. It's just thinking.
Yeah. No, JA's always a little slow. It's a national nonprofit, which is cool. So theoretically, there's hundreds of, yeah.
Oh, I started playing with, I apologize. I started working on this afternoon to get an idea of, and it, of course, started all the way. So here we go. And and it says warm up. And I click on it and I didn't get anything. So
yeah,
I don't know what warm up is about, but we kind of warmed up with what we did. But let's talk about, while I'm thinking about this, because we're talking about employment, income, So when you think of the key term of personal finance, what does that bring to mind? What do you think about when you hear the words personal finance?
Money.
Okay. What
um,
else? Anything else?
Saving.
Okay.
What else? Rashad, you name some.
Uh, when I think of well, I mean, when I think of personal finance, I just think about how one person could manage all of their money, and like where it comes and goes.
No, that's
Yeah.
good. Anything else you guys want to add on to that, what you're thinking? No?
I think
And
about
there's really,
business. I think
Yeah,
about the fact that you are your first business. Like I try to think of my personal finances like I'm running a business kind of.
that works well until, you have kids and then you run a deficit always. I've learned that the hard way. No, I'm kidding. But what you said, personal finance is right. You're practicing the practice of determining and managing your finances to meet your needs and wants and goals for the future. And so, of course, we're going to talk about income, and everybody here has income in. So I think we all know what income means. So we're going to get going. We're going to go to the next slide. And so it comes up with a question. What do you think?
No, false.
What do you think,
50,
Rashawn?
50.
He can't have a 50. He's got to come off the fence. He's got to give us a yay or nay.
I can't have a 50-50.
No.
No, you can't have a 50-50.
The more
We'll
money
let you phone a friend, though.
the more money you make, the less you have to worry about your finances. False.
All right. And I agree.
Now, may I know why that is false?
I'll still read my answer.
Why is it false? I have lots of stories working in the retail bank of customers that make lots and lots of money that are lots of times they're upside down and they're coming in to make, get a loan. They might take an equity loan to pay down their credit card debt. So they're transferring their debt out of credit card onto their home through an equity line or refinancing their house. So now their mortgage that they had paid down over 10 years now goes back to 30 at a higher dollar amount because your house usually appreciates. So if they would have managed and thought about how they would manage their money because they're top tier wage earners, they wouldn't have to think about this. Just because you make lots of money does not mean that you manage your money well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Like having money doesn't equal financial success. Would you, Raymani or Rashawn, do you know Mace?
No.
The musical artist Mace?
Oh, the rock band dude?
Well, he was Puff Daddy, Puff Daddy?
Yeah, Puff Daddy, Mace.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like in the early 2000s before you were born. He became super famous with a phrase called "more money, more problems."
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and that's exactly what we're talking about here. More money, more problems. So I think there's a video next, Mike, and you'll see as your income goes up, as you acquire more money, in general, you get more problems. Your problems get bigger.
All right, let's see how we get the music to roll on this. We got tap for sound up here. Can you hear it?
No. It's kind of skipping.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
We'll put it back. I'll try it again.
Yeah, I still can't hear it.
Okay. I don't know if there's, see, you got the wrong tech person. We
Well,
don't
that
want
it's
that.
common, Mike, that when we're sharing a screen, sharing a video doesn't
Yeah.
work very often. Raimani and Arshawn, the gist of this video, this is like a 2-minute report on CBS about football players, and it says like the average football player is in the league for 6 years and makes $6 million, but like the vast majority of them are broke within, like 78% of them are broke within a couple of years of retiring. And the same can be said for lottery winners, which the video doesn't talk about, but I know that stat too is like 70% of lottery winners are broke within a couple of years of winning the lottery. And it's because, again, having that money doesn't equal financial success. Having a plan for that money is what equals financial success.
You're absolutely correct. And so the idea is after we get done with the session, you'll be able to internalize your values, priorities, and education goals, and how that, your educational goal can affect career decisions. Look at and identifying employment options that align with your priorities. And then, of course, recognizing how your financial decision will affect you and others. It's not always, about you. Sometimes your decision will have ramifications for others also. And as we're going through, stop and ask us questions all the time. There's not, if you put something in the chat, I'm probably not going to even notice it. That's just, I'll blame it on not the fact that I'm not wearing glasses. So we're going to explore earning money. So we have income, priorities, and values. I'm just going to click on these.
Raimani, your income from Radisson, do you have that direct deposited
Yes.
into a bank account or a credit union account?
Bank account.
Okay. Arshawn, do you have your income direct deposited?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's valuable to know because direct deposit is a pretty handy tool to help manage your finances.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we'll hit the next one.
What would you say your number one financial priority is? Mike, Raimani, Arshawn.
So mine's going to be different than all of yours because getting towards the end of my career path. So mine is being like putting extra acorns in the little cubby hole. So I'm squirreling away as much cash as I can
Interesting.
for getting ready for retirement.
So your priority, like priority number one for you, is retirement.
Yep.
Raimani, what do you think?
Saving up for a car.
All right. And how are you doing that? How are you doing that?
I actually been doing it different ways, and I'm really bad at saving money. So recently I have figured out a way that is helping me because I am more attached to my car than I am to cash. So I'm gonna save up in cash and put it away somewhere I don't know because I don't use cash, but I use my card a lot. And I was saving up in my card and that was not working. And I was like, yeah, no. And when my bank was allowing me to get into my saving account, I was like, yeah, no. Gotta do it with cash. That's what I've been doing recently, and I got it so far. So
nice. Well, so you've got a clear priority, a clear goal, and some good.
It's getting a car. This been for years. Is getting a car. So yeah.
I like it. And you've got a lot of financial psychology going on that I heard in there too, right? You know that you're more disciplined with cash versus card. So
Mm-hmm.
you're going to try to save in cash. And what's interesting is Mike and I probably know lots of clients who are the opposite, and they're more disciplined with, keeping the money in the bank versus having the cash literally burning a hole in their pocket. Arshawn, what do you think your number one financial priority is?
I want a penthouse, just like a very large apartment, very large, like in the skyscraper. So I'm saving up for that.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. So your priority would be housing.
Mm-hmm.
Renting? Are you renting this house or this apartment?
Most likely.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right. So we're going to jump down to values. All right. We ready to move on to the next screen?
Are you just going to read it? You're just going to let that hang there?
Yeah.
How do you?
I'm going to let him read it.
Yeah, but
Do you want to put? All right, Joe.
Well, where do you
All
get
right,
the
Joe.
value
You're
for
on
your money?
on deck.
Okay. Well, I think it's important. Part of financial psychology is understanding where you learned about money and how you value money, right? So like, I learned about money one way from my parents and then another way through my job, because I started being a teller when I was like 18. Other people learn a lot of habits from their parents or their guardians or their adults in their lives. Sometimes those values are good. Like, you should really save money. Sometimes it goes overboard though. Like, you should really save money and never use credit, which could harm you.
Yes, I would tell you credit is a tool to be used if it's used the correct way.
I'm learning that right now.
Yeah. Raymani, have you ever seen your credit?
Actually, I just started my credit through my bank, which is Fifth Third. I got a secured credit card for
All right.
6 months until I actually get a credit card. And I did go over the limit for the first time, but it was on accident. But yeah, it was on accident. It was a big accident, and I paid off all at once. But it's hard. But I haven't been touching my credit lately, but I am paying.
Great choice. I think a secured credit card is a fantastic tool to build your credit. It's working towards your first priority of owning a car. You may need to get credit involved. So good.
Correct. And it's a mistake, you're learning now, and it's a mistake that's is recoverable because you learned from your experience. You went, and you took care of it. So you should, one of the things you should think about is for values in managing your credit is when you decide on a credit card, try to find one that allows you to or provides you your credit score as part of their services. That way, when you go in to look at your credit card and your activity, it's just sitting right there. Meaning you click on a little link and it'll take you to one of the 3 credit reporting agencies, and it'll give you a fairly up-to-date experience of where your credit score is sitting. And that'll give you an idea how to manage that. And that's some of the stuff we'll talk about later.
Another court, I bet Fifth Third does that.
You said what?
Does Fifth Third do that? Like, you can go online on their online banking and see your credit score?
Actually, no, it doesn't. I actually been wondering how to see my credit score. I tried to see if I can do it like through Credit Karma and credit assessment, but it didn't work for me. Like, it wasn't showing my credit scores, and I've been meaning.
And it's possible you don't have a credit score also.
Yeah, I think it's because it's just a secure credit card, and it's not an actual credit card.
Okay.
So maybe that's it. But I also do get bank statements too. So when I get
Right. You might ask Fifth Third if your activity on your secured credit card is reported to the credit agencies. And that way you'll know if it's generating a credit score on your behalf or not.
Okay.
And if they say no, it's not, then you know that you have is not going to build a score for you. So when you go to, buy a car, you won't, it'll be hard for the financing companies to provide you the right interest rate, because interest rates are tied very closely to credit scores. And, I have a sister-in-law who did not manage her credit score, and her horror story is she got a 25%, 24.99 interest rate on her car loan, which is, in a 4-year, on a 4-year note, you're paying for your car twice at that interest rate.
Yeah.
So, these tidbits would kind of, and it's it's a valid question you can ask them, and they should have a simple answer of yes, it is, or no, it's not.
Okay.
And then if it's yes, you can ask them which report agency they're reporting to. They should also be able to tell you that too.
We'll cover credit in like week 3 or 4 too.
All right, here we go. It's the next one. All right, so this was the activity that I talked about earlier that you'll need to have access to. You know what?
So you're saying you didn't do this, Raymani or Arshan?
Yeah.
If Ramani doesn't have access to the module, she wouldn't be able to get this.
Oh,
I just dragged it over. Did it pop up?
Yeah, it popped up.
I loved
All
this.
right, I don't know.
I really liked this. Raymani, do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
So earlier, I was at work and I was like, I really want to go to college. And I've been taking a break, off school, trying to just figure out what I actually want to do, because there's so many things I want to do. And it's like, what do I really want to do? At this moment, no, I do not know what I want to be when I grow up. I do know that the things I want to do might be involved. It's mostly involved in like art.
Mm.
Yeah, that's like the category. It's like art, photography is one of them. Dance. Also writing poetry was one of them, and drawing. So
Wonderful.
I'm trying to figure out. It got something to do with art though, so that's like my main focus is art. So yeah, still thinking.
So that's gotta. I
Nope.
think creativity is
Yeah.
is a big one here. Yeah, using my creativity.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought this was a pretty cool list of like, I don't know, 25 or 30 priorities and jobs. And the idea, and I do encourage you, once we're able to send you the link to click on this and check it out, you can rank the activities to rank your top 5 things, your top 5 priorities of your job. Arshan, what do you think?
About what, the chart?
Yeah. When you think about priorities for your job or your career,
mhm.
and you look at some of these examples on the left, like I don't know, what stands out as important to you?
Let me see. Having my own business is definitely a priority. You know what I'm saying? I just want to work for myself. But also making a positive difference and working indoors, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't like outside. So yeah, those are just the three main priorities, really. Before, did I say three?
Nope, that's good. Think you got three there.
Okay. Yeah.
So what else? And so we.
I ended up in banking largely because of that, Sean. Like I didn't want to work outside. That was embarrassing. But it's true. I just didn't.
I don't blame you. I really
Yeah.
don't blame you.
Yeah, I just didn't really want to work outside, and my dad was a landscaper, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the opposite.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Mike, what would you think of as priorities for your job?
See, I don't have any priorities left.
Well, but so
You know,
but you can again illustrate though that
So-
maybe priorities are
Yeah,
different as
so yeah, I mean, when I was single, so you know, I was in the hospitality industry. That's where my background and degree is in the restaurant, hotel, motel, restaurant, hospitality. You know, ran restaurants and bars. I learned that working, in the hospitality industry, and you're an owner, you're not a 40-hour week. You're not a 60-hour week. A good week is 80 hours. And sometimes it's 100 hours when you're your own boss in hospitality. And that could be that in any business that you're owner for yourself, because you're hustling, because you have, I had employees, so I had to make sure that, we were staffed right, things were done right, and that we had money in the bank for payroll. As a business owner, when you have employees, you have that responsibility. And so, I went from that to managing a retail location. So I thought I was getting off good from going from an 80 to 100-hour week down to 60-hour weeks in the retail world. Restaurants, you don't have any holidays off, as you know. When you think everybody else is out enjoying themselves on January 1st, you're working. The same in the retail world, in the restaurant, you're working those days. And so I just happened to have a little career hiccup, and I did some investment, learned some investment sales. And one of the gentlemen I worked with went and did a career change, and he called me up about a year later and said, "Hey, have you ever thought about working in a bank?" I said, "Not really." He says, "Well, you're putting in, you're doing sales for yourself again. When you do investments, as a person, you're in the sales industry. You're convincing people to invest, through different platforms to, meet their financial goals and dreams. That's what a financial advisor. That's what I was. Is what what you do." He says, "Are you still putting in 70 to 80 hours a week? Because again, I was my own boss. So if I wanted to make sure I had enough money in the bank account, I had to work extra hard because I had to build my business from the ground up." He said, "Work at a bank. You'll be down to 40 hours a week, and you get holidays. There's 11 federal holidays that the bank's closed for."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's like, "Look at that. You're just smiling when you think about 11 federal holidays." And, so you find somewhere that recognizes those holidays and you can have them off. I said, "Well, that, I don't know what to do if I had an extra 11 days off, I really didn't take any time off all the way in my career, except for 22 years ago when I started working with the bank. Then all of a sudden I had, the bank required us at that time when we were in management to have 2 weeks of zero contact with fellow associates. So that way they could come in and audit the retail bank that you ran to make sure you were behaving. In today's environment, it's much more automated, but what got me was 11 federal holidays. What can I say?
Interesting.
And something about that 40-hour work week, you know, it's still not 40, it's still more than 40, but you know, it's always about what you put in is what you're going to get out. So I've done, you know, I've done a few things. Not all of them are as smart as I thought. I always said when I started running my first restaurant, I should have done more research into it before I said yes. I would have said no, and if I would have known more at that time, a year later. That was a long year running that restaurant.
I bet.
All right, so let's get on to the next one. Did it move? No. There we go. So, you know, this is kind of what they say you'll earn, median annual earnings. And so the interesting thing is, when I look at this, and Joe, I don't know if you agree or disagree, I'm just going to use my friend who's a doctor, who is, you know, got all the degrees and went through all the doctor stuff. And all I hear him in the back of my brain is saying, I am drowning in student debt. I am still, you know, he's making 6 figures, you know, 200K plus, but he feels that he's just treading water because of his student debt. So, you know, even though you have extra education, does that always, I'm starting to challenge students now when they think they want to do something. I say, when you're choosing a career arc, and remember, you're going to choose or change career paths probably in you know, your life 5 to 7 times. Now, my dad worked for the same company his entire career. I don't know, Joe, if your dad's
Yep.
been
John.
pretty much.
Yep.
Right. And so far, Joe has just been with the bank, right?
Different banks, many banks.
All right. So you've stayed in the same genre, like a movie. We'd call it like a movie. So he's been in the same genre. But I look at myself, I started in hospitality, you know, so I did that career path, and I jumped over into the retail world, and I did, you know, retail. Then I jumped over into financial investments, and then I changed the bank. So I'm up to 4. And you know, I'm considered a baby boomer, so I'm the backside of the baby boomer, and so most of the folks that I've worked with that are older and that are retiring are, you know, either have been in the banking industry for 30 or 40 years, if they're working in the bank like I am right now, and or some of the customers and clients I work with have been in the same job, if they're in my age group, for, you know, 30 and 40 years also. But when I work with younger clients, they have jumped around to different career paths. So I say, I challenge the students and say, if you go and get, you know, have an education, associates, a bachelor, you need to make sure that the career path is going to pay for that educational aspect. A great example is, I have a friend, his wife went to MSU for, what degree did she got? She got a degree for museum curator. All right. You know, she got, you know, she's got 6 figures in debt. And I challenge you to figure out how, you know, if there was 24 students going through MSU, and there's, you know, multiple universities that will have this degree, how many curator positions are there in the country that you're going to, you know, that will pay for your education?
Yeah.
So it's just
Is
something you want to think about.
Raimani or Arshawn, is the Kalamazoo Promise in play for either of you?
Yes, it is.
All right. I mean, so
Then
Mike,
use it.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too preachy about it, but it's a huge opportunity. Like, it's huge.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about it, Raymani. What do you think about it, and school and how it's going? And
With the Comes of Promise.
yeah, well, and you mentioned that you're going to school or thinking about going back.
I'm thinking about going to college. With the Comes of Promise. Well, I know that I have a lot of opportunities due to me also being in foster care for till I was like past 13, which is also like programs like at Western.
Yeah, the CETM scholars.
Yeah, it's like scholarships and stuff for that too. So I'm fully aware of that. And with the Kamuzu Promise also, I do be a little confused about the Kamuzu Promise still. Of what's everything they pay, like what's everything they cover. And so, I'm still learning about like how college work and how we get scholarships and financial aid, how that works and stuff. So I do be confused about how all that works still.
Okay. Well, I mean, over the course of the next few weeks, hopefully we can work on that for you. We have a lot of contacts at the Promise that can sit down with you, and I mean, they have people at the Promise where that's their whole job, is to help shepherd you through wherever you want to go. You're right, it doesn't pay for it pays for the school part, the tuition part. The room and board you would have to pay for, but if you're going local.
Yeah, with the room and board, I'm probably not gonna be staying on campus. Probably not gonna be doing that. So I'm not really like too worried about that one.
But then if you stack it with like the CETM scholars, Mike, the CETM scholars is at Western for foster kids. It's like a nice cohort learning experience.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it and I actually applied. I don't think they had got back to me. I had applied like months ago. And I don't think they had, well, actually, they did get back to me. And I told them that my GPA is low. So I have to do classes at KVCC first, then transfer to Western. And they told me if that is the case, to do the classes, like I say, like a trimester in KVCC and switch over to Western right after. So I've been thinking about doing that too.
Yeah.
So, thinking right now, I was like, let me just take a break a little bit because school has been stressful for me
Sure.
throughout the years. So yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Well, good. Keep thinking about it. I don't want to get us too far off track, but school really relates to your personal finance in that your degree is an asset. A degree or a certificate could be an asset, especially as Mike was pointing out, if you don't have to pay it back. So, for other students who are, facing a lot of debt in order to obtain these degrees, it's more of a decision. But, with the Kalamazoo Promise, I think it's definitely like pointing you or trying to launch you in one direction because of this slide right here.
Yep. This is, average lifetime earnings, and it's a big deal. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like these story problems. Yeah. You gonna read it out loud, or do you want me to?
I thought Rami would be able to read it internally, and she could
Okay.
tell us which one of these that she would like us to select.
All right, you can do it that way too. Raymani, there could be a little bit of yourself in. What do you think?
I'm rereading it.
Oh,
Hmm. Okay.
Bless you.
I was like, I can't find my mute.
So it seems like he wants a flexible schedule. He wants to work for himself and complete a certificate program. I would say a massage therapist.
Yeah.
I don't think you would need a 4-year college for that.
I was going to say all of them except computer programmer.
I said all of them except a massage therapist. I thought it since it had therapist in the name, like it required like.
Nope, a massage therapist
Agree.
is, the person who does your back rubs and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, those are certificates that you can go to for 10-week or 15-week program to learn. I think if we say computer but see now there is some computer programming stuff out there that does not require a 4-year commitment.
Yeah,
I
like you
just
could get
don't know where it's at. I've
gig.
heard of it.
Yeah. You get like a contract.
See, yep. So here they say no, they want to have a bachelor's degree, but there are some programs out there. So let's go to the next slide because we got to watch the time. We're already down to the last 5 minutes all of a sudden.
Okay. Well, then let me speed it up by reading it. Earning
all right.
a high income.
All right, read it.
Earning a high income is Katie's top priority. She doesn't mind working long hours and she thrives under high pressure. She enjoys academics and would like to pursue a professional degree. Which career do you think would be best for her? Elementary school teacher, bus driver, surgeon, lawyer. Ramani, what do you think?
I have two in mind. I'm not sure. Elementary school teacher or a lawyer.
Interesting. Why did you pick elementary school teacher?
Because elementary teachers in general, they work long hours, and they do need a professional degree to be a teacher. And she's also enjoy academics, so teachers.
I agree with you on everything you said except their income, unfortunately, and that's criminal. But if you click on income, what is their income, Mike? Well, I mean that's respectable, but what's lawyer? Ramani's other choice. Yeah.
I figured it was lawyer too.
So in my professional opinion, that we should flip-flop these two. But that's not how the world works. Probably surgeon would also.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking about surgeon too, but I was like, I don't know.
You got to be cool with blood and guts, though. Yeah, 187,000.
Yep. All right. So what we got here? Blank page.
In on the end. Yeah.
No, we're only at 57%. Why aren't we getting any? Why aren't we getting any slides here? Is it not responding? This is just odd. So there's slides down here.
Yeah. See if you can click on 16.
This is so odd.
Let's go.
All right, so let's go.
Wow. 16, I believe, was a slide that said true or false. It did. Your financial decisions will only affect you. Arshawn, what do you think? False. false?
False.
False. Why do you say false?
Because your financial what was the second word? Financial what?
Decisions.
Your financial decisions, they don't just affect you, they affect, I guess, everybody around you in terms of like family, especially if you're supporting someone.
Mm.
Your financial decisions definitely, like, you shouldn't go gamble with the last $40 that you have. If you have a son, you should, you know what I'm saying? You know, so yeah, it affect everybody.
Well said. Yeah. And
Yep.
even if you don't, so I mean, obviously, you know, if you have a dependent or multiple dependents, your financial decisions affect them. But even if you don't, your financial decisions can affect others if you run into a situation where you need to ask others for money, like friends or family.
Yep. All right. Let's see if we can get.
Characteristics of healthy relationships with money.
Yep.
What's the #1 cause for divorce in America?
The #1 cause of divorce?
Divorce of couples. What do they argue about the most?
Money.
Money. What? So, you know, starting, you know, you both are just clearly young, but, you know, starting your life thinking about financial psychology and kind of being honest with yourself, like Mike started this presentation, you know, being honest with yourself about your financial psychology and your priorities and your values. You know, if you can go into a relationship with those clear, you know, then you can hopefully maybe have that same conversation with a potential partner. Because if you don't, that spells bad news. It's not that like a spender and a saver can't be together, but they need to, as long as they can talk through that.
Yep. Very much so. All right. That's pretty much all the slides. Going through the other slides really, you know, focus in on the 3, you know, there's post instructions. When we get done, there's the post session survey about earning, employment, and income. So if you could, you know, when you get the information, if you could go out there and do that, and then take time to do that certain student activity, you know, about earning, employment, and income, kind of help focus in.
Yeah.
And it's good, you know, I will say through my career, every now and then I've just sat down and kind of created a, you know, left side, right side of the thing. What do I want? You know, what are my goals? You know, kind of updated things.
Write it down. It's
Just to
important
make
to
sure.
write it down.
Yep. Just to see where I was at and what, you know, if it had a big red flag that I was doing something I didn't really like, then it meant I should say, you know, that red flag said, hey, you need to, you know, be honest with yourself. You need to move on, do something different.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be stuck forever in something you do not like.
Yeah, well said. And you have to do that because you'll be surprised at how much you can endure. You know, how much of a job you can endure that you don't really like. You shouldn't do that.
Correct.
Next week, we're talking about budgeting. Raymani, do you have a budget?
Do I have a budget?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to hear my cool budget plan?
Yeah.
So, I just recently started this like on my last paycheck. So my paycheck the estimate of like 700, 800, you know, but I take 100 out that paycheck and that goes to my car savings. And then I take 50 and that goes to my apartment savings. Then if I have bills to pay, like credit bills, phone bill, rent, that's the rest. But if I don't, then I can spend that.
Okay, well, you had me for a while there. But my math says you can spend a lot. Do you have this written down? Is it written down on paper or on your phone or somewhere?
No, it's not. I just got a budget planner though, so that will be written on my budget planner.
Cool.
Yeah, and food is also involved in it. So if I need to go grocery shopping, but I have food stamps, so that's like a whole different card. So.
But it's still like that's
Right.
still
Yeah, it's still like
that's still part of the puzzle that we have to. Rashawn, do you have a budget?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it written down?
No.
Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, I'm being very honest. Okay, I get my paycheck. I look at it. I make sure if I have bills coming up, I just don't move the money. But if I don't have bills coming up, then I'll just say a random amount. Like I don't know. I'll just be like, all right, I'm putting 100 up this week. I don't have anything to spend on. Like there's no shoes out this week or something. And then it's like, where I could put 200. And then the rest is just like, I just know how to like manage it, I guess. Because like I say, like for the last year, I saved $4,900 and I just bought a car yesterday. And so it was like, the system worked. It's just not like I don't know.
Well, it sounds like you're way more than halfway there. I mean, we will encourage you to write it down, but yeah. Good.
Very much so. All right, I am going to stop recording now.